Hey everybody, welcome back. I appreciate everybody sticking with me so far. It'd be worth it. Hope so. So again, we're here walking in shadow, continuing the series of the Spiritual Warriors Arsenal. Today's video will be about self-inventory. Again, like I had said previously, that this is just this list is important to the message that I'm transmitting. So, there are, of course, many other values and traits and abilities that are worthwhile, but for what I'm talking about now, which I hope sort of comes together in the sixth video, um, you'll see where I'm going. Alright, so since I'm requiring a level of trust from you guys to, actually listen to the entire video and, take it in, it'd be only fair to tell you about what I do. I've got a daily ritual, I guess you would call it. I do it every day. Some of it involves apps. It's a great astrological app. I don't know if it's on Android and Apple. I've got an iPhone, so I know unfortunately developers don't always go cross-platform, which sucks. But I guess you'll get an iPhone, or you'll make do. One of the two. But Sanctuary is really good just because it's sort of like an astrological forecast at a glance. It does have a lot of other options. They also have paid readings. They're not paying me to mention any of this. It's a really good app. So, I look at that for the day, and, it doesn't, well, this is what it said, so this is what I'm going to do, but it's just good to have a lot of different avenues. That's why I mentioned that before, with awareness, that there are a lot of different things going on all the time. So the thing I want to get to though is the ritual here. I'm sorry, I didn't post yesterday because I just had a lot of information downloading because I chose to make this step forward. Just, I don't know, something's opened up, inside of me. So there's a lot coming through. Apologies for that if you were hoping for one yesterday, but they'll all come out. So we got the Sanctuary app. And then I'm going to call Sweetly Savage 777. I'm going to call her Sweet or Sweetly Savage or something. It's a mouthful. Sorry. Just walking in shadow is sort of too. But one of the cards she uses in her spreads is the Starseed Oracle. And I had mentioned that before when I was talking about who I was and things I know about myself, which led into this self-inventory. But not going too deep into it, it's just that a lot of people, a lot of souls that are on Earth right now chose to come to Earth, which is really like the training planet for, if you're going to do some serious galactic work. Earth should be on your resume, so. But anyway, I go into that later. Rambling tangent alert. So, but I use the app of the Starseed Oracle because I have cards I use myself, which I'll mention in a moment. But So I use the app, and it's got a lot of different spreads, but I just use the Baby Step app. Baby Step is just one card, because there is a really great like tarot app on Android that same way back doesn't translate to Apple, unfortunately, but it's called Galaxy Tarot, and you get the Pro. I think it's like $3 or something, but it'll do a card of the day, and I'm telling you, I don't know. And it's just a really great intuition training tool because it gives you a card a day, and you can see where that moment comes up. You know, gives you a little edge, I think. Nevertheless, so got that, and then another app I use, Sky Guide, is an astronomy app. It's got a live compass feature, so wherever you are, inside or outside or wherever on the world, it'll show you where all the constellations and planets and everything are in relation to you at that time. It's good when you're looking, if you like to look for UFOs, that kind of thing. It's good because it also tracks, like the Tesla Starlink satellites. It tracks the like space junk from previous space missions, so that if you see something moving, or like the space station, it differentiates. So it's going to be picked up as one of these things. But if it's not, and it's still there, you know, then you're in the realm of, you know, your own self decision about what's going on there. But then as far as cards go, so I do a Sanctuary, I do the Starseed Oracle card, and then I have cards over here that I've got a Rider-Waite that I use for anything but me, because I used Rider-Waite for a long time. I know them well, but it doesn't really speak to me like my cards. My cards are called the Shaman Tarot, and this is sort of like a shaman skin on the same concept. So, but it works for me. So I pull one card off of that. I get the Starseed card, and then the Sanctuary app, and it just gives you a good idea if you're on track. Because I'm not saying like to look at these things and be like, okay, well, because it said that, I'm going to do this. It's the other way. It's, I'm going to do this, and it says that to confirm what I already knew. Yeah, so that's something I do. And so by explaining those things, what I'm trying to get at, to breach into the matter of the actual video, self-inventory is important to a spiritual warrior, because you have to know what you're bringing to the table, you know. But that's everything. That's good, that's bad, that's everything about you, from likes to dislikes, every friend or relationship you've ever been in, everything the eyes can see, everything, all the sensory data of your entire life, from the moment you were awake and conscious as a baby up to now. It's all in there, and all the ways that you reacted or handled things, or everything's in there, and all your talents and all your abilities and all your dreams and nightmares, everything's inside of it. But you need a good working knowledge of what that is, which requires a lot of accountability and responsibility, because if you realize that you do have power, you know, the first thing, I mean, it does sort of corrupt, because power corrupts, because you start to get the idea about doing things that you wouldn't normally think of, because you had yourself set at a certain level. But when you realize that there are no levels and that you can do whatever you want to do, it, you know, it can just have to be wary of everything that you have. You have to be aware of your triggers. You have to be aware of your everything, liabilities and assets. So that's something that you'll want to do, and it's an ongoing process. I mean, especially as you uncover new things or learn new things about yourself or learn new things about something else, which is really just a way to reflect back to you. But if you don't know yourself, it's very difficult, I would imagine. I don't know because I do know myself pretty well. But I would imagine it'd be difficult because, you already seem adrift. I know that feeling. If, like, you feel like things are supposed to be a different way, but you're not sure how. But the answer is you already do know how. So whether it's, like I mentioned previously, one of the other videos about, like, if your elders pointed out, or it's just something you've always known and you still know it right now, and you're either acting on it or you're not. I hope that by listening to me, you do act on it. I don't fear other people finding their voice and outshine me. I don't care. That's what you do. My goal is to show you a new path. And being a trailblazer is not easy. It's not fun. It's not, because the guy who originally blazed the trail just went into the random woods with tools like machetes and shovels and stuff to literally, or blaze the trail with fire, blaze it, because there's no other way there before. But if you see that's the way you need to go, then you gotta go that way. So it's important, especially also with intuition, that you're aware of yourself, because the only person who's going to know if you are in an ego trap versus actually moving forward with your energy, the only person who's really going to know that is you. So you are the sole proprietor of your destiny. And even if, there's a lot of schools on that say that, well, the destination's already pre-planned, okay, but you don't know about it. So every step that you take goes to that destination. What are you so worried about where that is? I mean, before you start worrying about, well, this will happen, well, zero happens until you do something. Again, here I am, I like talking to people, and in effect I am talking to a lot more people than I would normally get to reach, and that has a lot to do with why I'm doing the videos. But, sometimes I don't feel like it, I am 45, and I got old person afflictions. They're not, they're not terrible, but I don't have the energy I had when I was younger. Physical energy, which of course, diet and exercise, I got all that. And when it warms up, I'll definitely be more active. I don't go out in this except to get things done and then go somewhere warm. The point being is that, and I'm I'm just going to have to go heavy for a minute, and you just have to accept it or not accept it. One primary function of humanity on Earth is to be librarians of sorts, because the entire collective consciousness of every human that's ever been on this planet is known, and exists, and it just keeps growing with each wave of people. So all of that information is available, and it's not only available to us, it's available to anybody. So when I said you want Earth on your resume, it's because, it's a violent, just, it's a violent part of the world. I always said, like, the aliens roll up their windows and lock the doors when they pass Earth. Because humans can be a little feisty. Nothing could get one over on us, because we're so smart. But anyway, the reason I'm saying that is because the same way that I'm channeling a voice too, but it's my voice, it's my higher self voice, because me personally, because of the way all the factors of my birth and when it happened, and all of the things about me, it's very clear that with me, being in tune with my higher self is very natural and easy, which gives me a lot of access to knowledge that is not common knowledge. I was talking to Sweet the other day, and she was pointing that out to me. She said, you keep talking like, the things that you're saying are so obvious, but they're not. They're not common knowledge. Well, I don't know that, because I've done nothing but work on it, It's common knowledge to me because it's a routine that works, and I refine it. I change it, and then ultimately my self-inventory changes. Maybe I have new things to come to the table with. Are they new? No, but they were always there, but I had to uncover them. So it also explains a little bit about the walking in shadow part, or talking about being a shadow shaman. My website goes into it a lot more, but another fun fact that can go in the inventory file of me personally is that my father and my grandfather had very strong abilities in the same vein as me, but because they were men of different times and different beliefs, very limited times, they didn't want to stick out of the norm, so they did everything they could to turn that off, which is a tragedy, but nevertheless, the same potency is in my body now. So you have to think that if I chose to enter a stream of lifetimes, and I already knew what they were, or let's say my higher self knew. My higher self already knew what they were going to be and what the outcome was. Then what's the point of the experiment? The point of the experiment is that higher self and everything like it, spirit or God or anything you want to believe in, they operate outside of our reality, so they're not constrained by time like we are. So the only way that they can see progress on an individual basis is through us living through lifetimes. And while it's important to be aware of those lifetimes, and I understand about your karmic weights and balances, which, you know, karma's taken on a different meaning now. It's like, well, if you did something bad happens to you. Well, you know, it's a gross oversimplification of a rather deep conversation, but the real idea of karma is that if you have these parts of yourself that you never explored for whatever reason throughout your times on Earth, then they remain for the next one until they get solved. So, while yes, the goal is awakening and becoming light, the only way you're going to get there is to deal with the issues that exist inside you personally, but beyond personally, to see those echoes of the karmic weights, the lessons you didn't learn. Well, you know, you gotta learn them now. I mean, now's the time. I wish I could tell you that, well, I don't wish. My ego wishes to convey to your egos that, yeah, it'd be nice to say, well, this just goes on and everything goes back normal. There's no more normal. This is it. So, you know, what do you want to do? Do you want to continue in the vein you're continuing in? Or do you want to break out? Do you want to be whatever it is you are? And that's why I say a core value here with me and this channel, my podium, so to speak, is that it's no judgment. I mean, whatever it is that is for you, okay, you know, it's fine. The point I'm trying to make and the mission is to wake you people up, and so you can do whatever it is you need to do, because now's the time to do it. You don't want to regret. Regret's bullshit. You know, how can you regret a thing 10 years from now when you know it now and you're not doing it? Do it now. You have no regrets. If you fall flat on your face, it's, you know, at least you have something to go off of then. Some real data, not what's it going to be, who knows it's going to be nothing until you make it something, until you do something. So, you know, ultimately that's what I want to happen. I want each and every one of you to find your voice, whatever it is, wherever it is, and do it. If you're younger, that's great. Give you more time to do it. If you're older like me, or even older than me, it doesn't mean anything. Other than, like I said, with old people afflictions, that, you know, you might just have to pick your spots. But, I've got a lot to say and a lot to transmit and share, but I just want to keep it, you know, on point, so I can get to a point. I mean, we got plenty of videos. I don't want to stop making them. I have to make them now. I'm compelled to make them. So regardless how I feel about it. So they're going to go on, and we'll cover lots of things. But the reason I said that about the planet and the knowledge and the consciousness is because we all have access to all of those things, but what they tell me is just that a lot of the things that I do or say to you may involve concepts that are completely foreign to you. Does that make them real? Does that make you wrong? No. And yes. But you got to hear them. You know, you've got to have. I'm trying to add to your inventory now, so that you can make it part of your own routine and your own plan, so that we can all move forward together. Because there's the end goal, and the end goal is awakening and union with the self, with the twin flame thing. You know, I don't know. I think that even if there is a twin flame or a person or whatever, I think it's more important that you chase with the vigor that you would chase another person to your own divine masculine and feminine sides and your own self. You think about the things that you're so passionate about. Just put like a half of that energy that you put into that, whatever it is. You know what it is. Put it back into yourself. Reinvest. Because every situation that happens in life and everything you encounter, yes, it's a myriad of reasons why, but you are the common denominator. So if you know right then that, hey, I'm in a situation I need to get out of, I'm in a situation I need to change, you want to do it now or you want to wait and just let the situation continue to suck and do it anyway in a couple of years? I want to say from watching the videos, got to watch all the videos after I put them out, that sorry about the rattling. You know, I know there's occasional rattling, but this is a folding table and there's a lot of things on it that I'll cover in the Tools Foci video, and they're right here in front of me. And I want them here, and I want to use them like I would normally use them. So, they're rocks, they rattle around. All right, so I feel like I've conveyed the importance of self-inventory. It may sound like I didn't talk about self-inventory, but I did. Because you just got to know yourself. The point of shadow work, and it's not popular, but it's still necessary, is to find those pockets of lower frequency inside yourself and convert them into light. It's the only way you're going to increase your frequency. You can do the singing bowls, and you can burn the stuff and do the dance and all the stuff. You can do all that, and it'll help, sure. It'll help you the way that helps you, but if you really want to increase your frequency, which is what is ultimately the goal, in order to perfectly meld with the frequencies, let's say, is to remove the things that are holding you back. And the only way you're going to know what's holding you back is to take self-inventory. So I'm going to end it there, but that next video is going to be awesome. Impeccability, because in the future I will be talking about the Toltec traditions, because that's me. It's not it doesn't have to be you, but it's me. And impeccability is a big one, so I'm looking forward to it. I may do it tonight. It's intuition, so appreciate you. See ya.